So today I'd like to talk about a project that I funded on Kickstarter, and it's for these KUVRD, K-U-V-R-D, because we always have to spell stuff really weird for it to catch on. But these are universal lens hoods. And one thing that, again, kind of like with the circular polarizers and the screw-on filters that I reviewed a few weeks ago, I've always been frustrated and aggravated with lens hoods because they're huge, they're hard, they're bulky, they're kind of a pain in the butt, but a lot of times they're necessary, especially if you're shooting, like when I was out shooting the waves at Cape Disappointment and it starts raining a little bit, you've got to have something to cover that lens element to keep the water, the droplets off of it. If you're around waterfalls, or if you're shooting into the sun and or at an angle and the sun is coming in, you're going to want to have something to keep that sun flare off of the lens. Another problem is if you're ever shooting into, you're trying to take a photograph maybe through a piece of glass or something, there's always a reflection. And the thing that caught my eye on these is, number one, they're very small, they're universal, they fit 99, it says on the back, it says it fits 99% of lenses, but it does come in two sizes. It comes in, this is for 72 to 112 millimeter. This is the large. And then the other one, it does 54 through 76. So there is some overlap between the two lens hoods. So this is what they look like. This is what comes out of the package. And they're super flexible. I mean, you could just, the video and the Kickstarter showed them people just, throwing it in the bag and crumpling it up, and it doesn't matter, it just pops right back. Another thing that I really liked about that attracted me to these was the fact that they are collapsible. So it goes from being, relatively tall, and then if you don't need all of that, you can, depending on if it starts to vignette or if it's raining harder or whatever, you can make it a lot smaller. So this I thought was kind of cool. I like the fact that you could kind of adapt it to the size that you might need. It also, although I don't need it with the magnetic filter system that I have, another thing that they advertised and touted was that it'll hold any size filter. So you don't even need step-up rings. So you would buy the largest or a larger filter diameter, and you would just stick it in here and it would stay and allow you to universally fit a circular filter, which is kind of cool as well. Although like I say, I probably will not have to use that feature. So I'm going to be reviewing these. I'm going to take them out in the field. I'm going to put them through their paces just like I did with the Freewell magnetic filter system. We'll see how well they do. My concern is going to be like putting it on and taking it off in the field, because with these, so let me just do some, sort of try to do a demo here. Obviously with a filter like this, when it's in your bag, it's on, so you got it right here. And to take it off and put it on, you flip it around, and there you go. It's not too complicated. It's pretty quick to get it on and off. So let's try with the KUVRD. C-U-V-R-D. I had a hard time trying to figure out what they were trying to spell, and then I figured, KUVRD, because first I was thinking curved, but it's not curved. So stretching this around the lens element. Now this is like a very, very super stretchy material, so I'm not worried about it. At least I hope it's not going to tear or anything. But this is the large, and this is my 100 to 400 Sony. So let's see if I can at least try to put it on. And I am guessing that I'm going to have to do this in my lap, kind of out of sight right here. Sorry, guys. But so it's a little bit more of a struggle than I would like. I don't know. So it's kind of, it's on. So I've got, if you notice around the edge, even though I've got it on, it's not on straight, right? I mean, around here, it's wonky, right? And so I have to mess with it, which I'm already not liking, to get it on evenly onto the lens. Because like I say, with these, they just click on and it's gonna be uniform. This, since it's pliable rubber, it's not. And you see I'm still messing with it, and I already had, you know, that took just a second, and I'm still kind of making this perfect. All right, so I think that's pretty even, you know, around here. And I don't know how even it has to be, but this is what it looks like. All right, and again, if you don't want it that big, you just push it back and boom. So this is really cool. And it might be one of those things where it just takes me some practice taking it on and putting it off. Taking it off is not hard. You just pull and it comes off. So it might be one of those things that just require practice in putting it on and then being able to do it in a quick way. And I just don't have any practice or experience doing it. So I'll have to spend some time with that. But right off the bat, that's kind of a pain in the neck trying to quickly put this on and get it so that it's even on the lens. Now let's try it on a smaller one. This is a 70 to 200 Tamron lens. So let's see if it's a little bit easier to put on this one. Now this is the large, and supposedly the small one might be better for this one. But we'll go ahead and try with this one. And that one was definitely easier to put on. Right? It's not perfect, but it was definitely less of a struggle than this big monster of a lens. And that could be just because it's really big. But again, being able to do this and adjust it to a length, you know, or retract it all the way, that is really, really cool. It's not coming off. It's not floppy. It's not, I don't think you're going to have issues with wind or, you know, it's not going to hold up, right? I mean, it's sturdy enough that you're not going to have any issues in that regard. And then taking it off is again, no problem taking it off. It's putting it on is going to be the issue that I'm going to have to work with. So I'm shooting through glass out of my front window, and you'll notice the light up at the very top was a reflection. It vanished, and as I pull back away, then it comes back. The second example, you'll see a shadow or a reflection there near to the left of the pole, and as I move in close and touch the glass with the lens hood, it takes it away, and it's a super clean image. So I'm out with the covered universal lens hood, and so I was just going to try it. This would be a typical setup. It's a 24 to 105 lens on there, and this would be like I would, if I was out in the field, if I was out doing landscape photography, it would be set up on the tripod, and let's just see how easy it is to get on. So I'm going to fully extend it, and we're going to give it a shot to see if it's how well and how quick I can get this on. And actually, it was a lot easier than trying to do it in my lap. I mean, I just, especially doing it from this side of the camera, it went on really easily. And I can, you know, just pull on it, tug on it to get it so that it's pretty even around here. And again, I can just pop it down, even pull it back. One of the other things that they tout is the ability just to cover and protect the lens if you needed to pull it all the way back to make an adjustment, or pull it forward, you know, just a little bit. So let me take some shots and we'll see what it looks like. All right, I've already discovered something else I'm not real happy with. Again, this is as I just, you know, work with it for the first time. So this is a zoom lens that actually goes in and out. It's not an internal zoom. It actually, you know, as I turn this, it zooms the lens out. And depending on where you put this, it doesn't want to zoom because it's zooming way out here. So that means that when I put this thing on, I've got to adjust it so that, again, I'm not enjoying this part at all. Let's see. All right, so I'm kind of concerned about, well, so now I can't unzoom it all the way because, let me see if I can get a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know how well you can see it from that distance. You can see this is where the zoom, all right, and then the lens hood comes to here. So I can't go all the way back to 24 millimeters. And I'm concerned about yanking on this. So when I have to like pull on it to get it, and again, this could be just like a learning curve, and I'm sure it's part of it. So now I can almost get it back to 24. But the problem is I can't just pull it all the way back to here and call it a day on the lenses that actually zoom, which is all of my lenses, my 16 to 35, the 24 to 105, as well as the 100 to 400, all actually telescope. So where I install this is super, super critical. So let me grab a couple of quick shots to see if we have any issues with vignetting and how well it actually works as a lens hood, and we'll see what happens. So I've had a chance to play with these, as you saw in the video, and overall, I'm not super pleased with the way they work. I was hoping for something that was a little easier to use and was a little bit more universal, and it's really not. So the pros and cons. The pros are, these are awesome for taking glare off windows. If you're on an airplane and you want to shoot out the window, there's always a glare. This would take care of it. If you are at an aquarium and you're shooting through thick glass, this would eliminate that, and you would have, you know, a great, be able to get a really good, clean shot. If you're in one of those skyscrapers, observation decks that's all glass, and you're up there and you want to get a cityscape, and you've got that huge glare coming in because it's always lit off, just an awful light on the inside, this would eliminate it, and it would be, you know, allow you to get a really clean shot. It's also great that the size is adaptable. You can change the size to what, you know, how long you would like it. Keeps the water off your lens if you got some rain coming down. Absolutely great for that. The hole that it holds your filter, that's something that I don't need and I don't really want to get into because, again, I use the Freewell magnetic filter system and I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. This is not going to help me there. And I did have an instance when I was trying to, you know, mess with this thing on the lens, trying to get it, you know, just right, that it actually pulled my magnetic filter off the lens. Not cool, didn't like it. Another minus point for me. Now, if you're using the screw-on filters, then that might not be an issue whatsoever for you. But for me, since those magnetic filters I really, really like, I was not a happy camper to find that when I was trying to adjust this thing just right, which is real, you know, instead of just, you know, snapping it on and calling it a day, you saw that I was just, you know, having to kind of tweak it, and it actually pulled that filter off. So that's a definite con for me. If you are a prime lens user, this is also going to be a better fit for you because you don't have to deal with setting the filter you know, just right. Like for me, with all of my lenses that telescope, I have to make sure that this lens hood sits right here, you know, right there on the lens. It can't, if I, you know, set it so that it's covering like this, the lens will not zoom, and that's not good. And if I set it so that the lens hood is here, I can't get all the way back to my wide angle because the lens hood is actually thick right here, and it won't allow me to go all the way back to the widest angle. Those are all deal breakers for me. So will I ever use this? Probably not. Only in the instances that I talked about, on an airplane, in an aquarium, which I really don't go to, if I'm doing a cityscape shoot from a very high building, or if, you know, possibly if it was really raining and the lens hood that I was using was not keeping my lens covered enough, then I might. The good news is that it's not expensive. It's around $40, I believe, somewhere around there for the Kickstarter. I don't know if they're going to raise the price once it's on the market for normal use. I found that the large is what I would get. I found that it fit just fine on my, my smaller lenses as well, and it was a tight fit on the larger lenses. The small one, I don't know if you would need to get both. I think the large one would probably do you just fine, or the medium, I apologize. I think they call it a medium. There is no large, it's just a medium and a small. I don't know why they just didn't do a large and a small. But the medium would be the one that I would recommend if you wanted to give it a try. Like I say, if you are a prime lens user, it might be more of a benefit to you. But for me, I'm going to stick with, unfortunately, the traditional lens hoods, because you snap it on, you snap it off. I don't have to worry about where it goes. I can easily zoom and use my lens with no problems at all. And it doesn't interfere with my magnetic filter system. So I hope you liked the review. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, I sure would appreciate a thumbs up and a subscription. Ring the notification bell. I'm releasing videos every single Wednesday, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.